Let's go ahead and hop straight into it. Today, I did not trade, as I said, as I promised. But like I did say, I'm still gonna come on, still gonna make my backtest video, still gonna basically see what the market did during this time frame, which I would have traded, and just see what would have happened. Getting some market experience, even though I chose not to live trade today. Um, so let's go ahead and get into it. So from yesterday, we seen this was our high. Price pulled into this zone and it pushed and it broke. It did give us a two candle push as it broke this high with this candle, and then it pushed above and closed above here. So what we could do on the 3 hour is we can just move this zone because we were going to get rid of it. So we'll move this zone to match where price is. We'll drag this high up to the new high. Now, of course, we have to make sure it's 50%, which is not at the moment. So we will just pull it down to a nice little area, but we do already see that it's testing pretty deep. So we can pull it down a little bit more. I'm going to pull it to these candles here just because it already is giving us a nice little test in there. So we can get rid of this 1 hour low because we know that it's already changed. So we want to focus on what's going on currently in the market. So on the 3 hour, we have a impulse to the upside, which created a new high probability. We have a retracement phase right here on the 1 hour, which has retraced into this 3 hour zone. So on these lower time frames we're getting ready to analyze, we are only looking for buy opportunities as long as price is within this zone or coming off of this zone. So we just got to keep that in mind as we continue to scale down. So let's go ahead and go to the 1 hour. We want to focus right here, but there's no broken lows or structure. So we need to go back here. Let's see. So this high was broken, making this the low, and this low was broken. So was it high probability low broken? Yes. So there is a high probability 1 hour zone here. Now the reason we're willing to draw this and use this as a zone is because if price were to pull up to it, we would be willing to enter off of it because it's happening away from and outside of this 3 hour zone. So the main thing we want to do, well, first let's draw on our session. So it's 4, 5, 6. So 7 to 11. This is our session. Perfect. All right. So this 1 hour we draw here. So we see that it solidified as low as well in the coming hours to our session. So pull it down. Make sure it's 50. It's right at 50, but I don't like it being so close to there. I would actually pull it up all the way to this last candle. Just because the 3 hour, if the 3 hour reacts as expected, it's going to give such a powerful push. I don't see it pushing just right to here and then reversing. Now it can, but this is just me making a good business decision, using my common sense, using things I've seen in the market. If price comes off this 3 hour with momentum, it could potentially break this 1 hour. And I don't see it reacting immediately to it. I see that being an opportunity for the market to fake us out. But if it pushes all the way up here and slows down and starts to reverse, that is more of a high probability chance that price is really looking to reverse at that point. So what we want to do is go ahead and identify this low for the 1 hour. So what we see on the 1 hour is price has impulse to the downside and is starting to retrace. So on the 10-minute, we're focusing on this retracement to the upside, which aligns with our idea that price is looking to push off of this 3 hour zone. So let's go ahead and go to the 10-minute. Focused on this impulse to the upside. So what do we see? Has there been any highs broken? Nope, there's no highs broken there. So we need to figure out what was the last structure broken. Well, we have a high right here that was broken. What we need to see though is it high probability or low probability? So we draw it perfectly right there. perfectly on top of the candle. Is that a break? Yes, it is. Because if you put your mouse on the candle, you see it broke over top of the line, not underneath it. So we got a break here with this candle. So slight break, but it is a break. And then we got a second candle push. So that makes this the high. And that makes this zone right here, high probability, 10-minute. And of course, we have to make sure it is high probability. So what we'll do, we'll pull it back. Falls right around this candle area. Perfect. So that aligns with the idea of what we're looking for to the upside. So on the 5-minute price, we will in the 10-minute we see prices impulse creating a new high, and now it's retracing. So on the 5-minute, we're focusing on this retrace area right up in here. So let's go to the 5-minute, see what we have. So on the 5-minute, has any lows been broken? Yes. Price created a low, retraced, and then pushed below that low. So let's see if it gives a second candle push to the downside. So this is the low that was broken. So this is the highest point of the pullback for the 5-minute. And it did give us a 2-candle push, but you got to remember, we are only looking for buy opportunities off of this zone. So the 5-minute, even though it's high probability sell wise, we're not going to look to get in. We're going to look at this as low probability structure because sell structure is happening in a higher time frame buying area. So price is pushing. We're just waiting for it to retrace and solidify its low. Perfect. So we have this low here. 5-minute. So we understand 5 minutes is low probability. So what does that mean for us? That means we can utilize the 2-minute structure now. So we see that price has pushed to the downside and pulsed to the downside on the 5-minute, and now is in an upside retracement, which is good for us again because we are looking for buy opportunities anyway. So we're going to go to the 2-minute, focusing on this upside retracement push. So let's see, do we have any highs that were broken? Yes. Price had a high here. It pulled back, broke it. Let's see if we get that second candle push to make it high probability. Boom. Perfect. We do get that second candle push. So now we can draw this area as high probability 2-minute structure. So now we're just looking to see where does price solidify the high so that we can draw our low and see if we get a pullback. So still pushing. Boom. So the retracement solidified itself right here on the 2-minute. So at this point, we're just waiting to see with the 2-minute. Does it pull back? Does it break structure first? What happens here? Boom. And it actually ends up breaking structure first and keeps pushing, right? So because we see it broke that structure, now we need to go to the 5-minute and see, hey, so we're not worried about this 2-minute at the moment because 5-minute structure has been broken. So we need to reanalyze everything we just did. So the 5-minute has broken to the upside. Let's see if it gives us a 2-candle push. Nope, it doesn't. It never broke and closed above here. But we do see that price is here, and now it is low probability. So what we want to do, we can go back to the 2-minute, focusing on this area. So what we're going to do is we're going to we should have never got rid of it, but we're going to leave our 2-minute open zone here because we know that we are dealing with 2-minute structure now. So we can't ignore the fact that there's a zone here that was never tested. And we're looking for buys still anyway. But we want to focus on the retracement. So on the retracement, there is no lows that have been broken yet. No real structure. So let's find the last structure that was broken. It was here. So price pulled back and pushed off right here. Was it high probability? Yes, it was. So we can draw a 2-minute zone here as well. And let's just see what happened. Price never tests, doesn't break, breaks there on the 2 minute. Let's go check the 5 minute. Boom, price broke structure on the 5 minute. So again, we're not really worried about these 2 minute structures when price has already broken 5 minute structure because we now have to reanalyze. So we got one break. We never got a second candle push. Let's see. Boom. So 5 minute is still low probability, uptrending right here. So now we want to go to the 2 minute. We see price impulse to the upside, pull back to the downside. Now we want to go back to the 2 minute. Again, because we're on the 2 minute, we want to identify our open zones. We had one open zone here, right? 2 minute. And then we had another open zone down here. All right, and we can get rid of this 5 minute because this 5 minute low is no longer in question. So perfect. Let's see if we get some type of confirmation off this zone. Nope. Push through. We do have a little confirmation here. So let's see if price can break this high. We want to look to get in 4.5. So let's see what happens. No, it didn't break it, but it produced another confirmation candle. So we still want to hold this position right here. Let's see if we get entered. No entry. Now we need another confirmation candle before we look to enter. Boom. Boom. And it breaks the 2 minute structure. So now what we can do, we know this 2 minute zone is ruled out, but the other one can still be tested. But now what we want to do is look at the 5 minute. So the 5 minute has broken structure to the downside. It is high probability, but again, it's still within and very, 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 very close to this 3 hour zone. So for me, I'm still going to mark this as low probability structure. So let's see what happens. So boom, the retrace started right here at this zone. So let's go to the 2 minute. So we never got a test down here. It got very, very close, but never tested. And so what we want to focus on is, let's see, did it retrace? Yep. So the price is pushed down, retrace. So we're focusing on this up move right here on the 2 minute. So on the 2 minute, no highs have been broken yet. So we want to find the last bit of structure. The last bit of structure was this low here, which pulled back and created this new low. So what we'll do is just mark this as the high, the 2 minute high. And this will serve as a 2 minute high until some type of high is broken. So we do see that price retraced here. So if it breaks this high, then that does give us opportunity. So let's see. Boom, that high is broken. Boom, we get a 2 candle push. So guess what? Now we got high probability structure. Can draw our zone right up in here. $2 minute. And now we're just waiting for a high to be solidified. Boom, this might be the solidified high. We also have to make sure this is 50%. Not exactly, we'll pull it back just to the body, which then makes it 50%. So this might be the solidified high. Let's get another candle. It definitely is. And we got a very nice test. So let's see, now we're just looking to see if we get a confirmation. So we do get a confirmation. It's pretty far away from the zone, but it's the very first confirmation. So we have a couple options. We could take this trade, understanding that it's going to be a big stop loss. So about 11 pips. For me, 11 pips is a big stop loss on the 2 minute for sure, but I'm still going to take this trade because why would I not? It's not past my 50 pip limit. So 24.5 is what we'd be looking for if we get entered. So let's see what happened. Are we entered? No, we're not entered, but we get another bullish candle. So we're good to wait. And honestly, this would make me pull my stop loss up some. Just a little bit, because price is showing that it's not trying to push all the way back down. So I would probably pull it up maybe to right under these candles. So now we're looking at 9 pips versus 11, which means now we're only looking for 20.5. So it shortens everything a little bit. Now we want to see if our next candle does put us in. So let's see what happens. Nope, we get a bearish candle with no entry. So now we got to wait for a second test. So we understand price tested here. We want to see it test a little bit deeper this time if it does, and go from there. So let's see. And it does give us just a slight test, honestly. So hold on, let me go back one. So it all depends how you draw the pullback. So you could have drawn the pullback just a tiny bit here, anything, because all it did was wick within. It wicked here, so we just need another wick. We got a wick here, gave us a bullish confirmation. So I would have actually looked for entry right here. Pull back. We'll just do 5.5, which in this case would be 13.5 as far as the TP we're looking at. And let's see what happens. So we know we get entered into this trade. So first thing I would want to do is get my 0.75 level. So 13.5 times 0.75, that's 10.1. And then 13.5. Perfect. So we have that, but now we also want to make good decisions as far as managing our trade. So we got to push to the upside. We want to focus on that on the 1 minute. Let's see. No highs have been broken, so we want to look for the last bit of structure that was broken. The last bit of structure that was broken would have been this low to where it pushed to the downside. So we want to mark this off as an area that if we get some type of rejection from it, might serve as an opportunity for us to exit. So let's see what price does. So on the 2 minute, price pushes right there, right before breaking through. So this is a weird opportunity, because on the 1 minute, it gives us no structure. And because we are coming off a 3-hour zone, I wouldn't want to use these zones up here as an means for why. I would have probably just waited on this one, right? Price is impulsing. It's a 2 minute trade. Let's give it some time to see if it breaks structure to the upside. So it pulled back here, and then it broke above. So on the 1 minute now we have some structure. So price pushed here, pushed above. Let's see if we get a second candle push. No second candle push. So price is pushed pretty low, and there's no stop out. So now I'm just looking at it from a higher time frame to see. You know what? Let's manage it correctly. You feel me? No BS in it. So again, on the 1 minute, we had this zone because this was the last structure broken. So we got a test off of it and a rejection, and we got a 2 candle push. So we would have exited this trade for a small loss. So this would have been our first L of the day. So let's be real. That would have been our first L of the day. Now we go back to the 2 minute. Now this 2 minute zone has already been tested twice. So I'm not looking to utilize that anymore. So now what I want to do is just basically refresh, restart, because right now it's a lot going on that we don't really know or understand. So now let's go back and look. So this one hasn't been tested. I'm gonna get rid of this real quick. So the 5 minute is still downtrending, right? Price pulled back here. It's still in a retracement and it started to come down some and push up, but we want to focus on this upside retrace. So let's go to the 2 minute again. What highs have been broken? So price has broken the high here. So it pulled back, broke this high up to here, which means this whole thing wasn't even the zone. The only part of the zone was here. Price came up to here, tested once, pushed up, rejected the high. Tested the second time, came up, rejected the high. So we don't want to look for another opportunity until one of these highs or lows is broken. So this is the low here. 2 minute. 2 minute. All right. So let's wait and see. No high is broken. No lows broken. Now we got a broken high. We have a broken high here on the 2 minute. Price pushed, pushed. So it gave a 2 candle push. So on the 2 minute, we do at least have some structure, some new structure now that we can pull all the way down to here. 2 minute. And a new high that hasn't solidified yet, but it has broken the 5 minute. So we can drag this up to here just for now, but we have to analyze this on the 5 minute first. So on the 5 minute, what has happened? On the 5 minute, price has formed new structure. It's low probability. It broke right here, right? So price had a high here, pulled all the way back to here because it was downtrending, and now it broke back to the upside. So this low stays the same. So what happened? Price pushed to the upside, is looking to retrace. We have this huge 2 minute zone that just broke structure as well. So now we can go to the 2 minute and measure out this zone, because that's the exact same area that the 2 minute, because when we go to the 2 minute, there is no downside. So we're looking for the last area where price broke structure, and it would be about right here. So let's go and make sure. 50%, because again, now we're looking for this, but there was no break there, so we're looking for the last high. So the last high broken would have been right about here. Hold up, that was wrong. Yep, so it would have been right here where price pulled back. Price was here, pulled back, then pushed, and kept pushing to the upside. So we can get rid of this. So let's see if we get a pullback or 5 minute is broken again. 5 minute is broken again. So at this point, it's a matter of seeing if we get a 2 candle push. Nope, still another low probability. So what we want to do, put a high up to here, put our low to here, reanalyze 2 minute structure. So we're going to leave that 2 minute open zone, but we do see price impulse to the upside, it's retracing. So let's see what we get here. Has any lows been broken? Price formed a low here, and it broke the low there. So we would kind of be looking right here if it gives a second candle push. Does it give a second candle push? No, it doesn't. So this is low probability structure to the downside. But as far as opportunities, we only look on the 2 minute is the highest we look, or the lowest we'll look. So let's see. We got another break of structure. Low probability again on the 5 minute. So we'll pull up, price pull it back to here. And now let's just see. So it's still low, a lot of low probability structure on the 5 minute. We're focusing on this downside pull. We have a low, but it hasn't been broken. So now we want to look for the last high that was broken, which would be right here. This high was broken. Did it give a 2 candle push? It broke here, never closed above. So it's low probability on the 2 minute as well. Did it finally break this low? Yes, it finally broke the low, but it's not high probability. So we're waiting for another break. Boom. So we get another break. Is this one going to be high probability? Let's see. No, it is not. So price is here. Pull back to here. Go back to the 2 minute. Boom. Any lows been broken? Yes, but it's not high probability. So because it's not high probability, boom, this low was broken. See if we get a high probability push. No. So there's no high probability structure right now. Boom. Now this one is high probability. We can pull back to here. Look for our move. Be the 2 minute. Let's see where it stops. Stops here, so we got to just make sure it is high probability. 50% pullback, which would fall right at this candle. So we do get a test of it. So now let's see. We get a test and break all at once. So what we want to do, look to sell. Now the reason we can look to sell now is because price is outside of that 10-minute high probability. I mean, not the 10-minute, outside of the 3-hour zone. So 6, that means we'll be looking for about 14.5. So let's see if we get entered. Boom, we do get entered into this trade. Now we want to manage it correctly. So we're going to go to the 1 minute. The last low that was broken is here. Yeah, so it broke the low here and then it's pushing down. So we're just looking and waiting for new structure. Let's see. Boom. Does it break? It does break here. So we got a 1 minute high here. 1 minute high there. And the new 1 minute low is here. Now what we want to do is check the 2 minute out and see if the 2 minute matches the 1 minute. Or if the 1 minute matches 2 minute, either way. And it does, right? We had a low here on the 2 minute. Price broke above, pulled back, and then broke it on the 2 minute. So if this high is broken, then we are getting out because that would be 2 low probability highs that are broken. So let's kind of see. Broken, not closed past on the 2 minute. So let's give it another candle. Because remember, it's probably broken closed on the 1 minute, but it didn't break close on the 1 minute or the 2 minute. So now we're just holding through to see. Price pushes down again. We didn't mark off our 75% level, so now the price is a little bit lower. We can mark that off now. So 14.5 times 0.75. That is 10.8. 10.8. So we're not there yet. We're close to it. Partial. And we were at 14.5. So we can go back to the 1 minute to look to manage. We see that we got a high here, a new break. So the structure has changed. But I would leave it here because this is a better protective level than this new one. So let's see what price ends up doing. Boom. So price ends up coming past our zone right here, past our partial level, and testing this 2 minute. Let's go to the 1 minute, see what that looks like. So it has started, it retraced. So we will identify this new low here. And it's closed past the partial. So let's see what happens. Price wicks below. And then it pushes back past it. Let's go to the 2 minute, see what that is. Yep, it does the same thing. So we would have closed this trade for a small winner as well. Now, the reason we would have closed is because one, it gave confirmation off of this, but also it broke and closed past our partial level and then broke and closed back on the opposite side of it. So that is a reason we would close. Now we can push through and see what would have happened. Hey, it would have came right back down. So that would have been one where we could have said we had options here where we could have been like, okay, a broken close past here on the 2 minute. If it breaks here, we will get out or something like that. But the safest thing and smartest thing to do would have been able to just close here. We would have still been pretty deep in profit. Now, had we taken that opportunity, taken that chance, and let it run, then I mean, we would have ended up with a full win. But again, we're trying to be the best loser we could possibly be. So today we would have made a little bit of profit. We would have got out one trade, break even, and got a win on the second trade. Now looking back at it, a lot of people might be like, but hold on, it was so many opportunities to ride price. I mean, it looks like it is that way, right? There's a lot of upside momentum. When you're looking at it, it definitely is a lot of upside momentum. But the thing is, we just went through all of the structure. All of it was more confusing than anything. We didn't get pullbacks where we needed them. Price was creating low probability structure on the 5 minute. The only one that maybe could have worked is that 2 minute. But again, that would have been me holding through, being almost one pip away from being stopped out. And the whole idea is I want to try my best as I possibly can to eliminate full losses from my structure. So regardless of how I feel and what I think, if price shows me something that's telling me, hey, it's looking like this is a confirmation against you, I'm going to exit. And then if a better opportunity presents itself, I'll be willing to get back in and go from there. But this is what today would have had to offer for us. Um, I know it probably sounded a little bit confusing and even looked a little bit confusing. Again, there are certain things that I am implementing into my trading that are going to help me cut down on the amount of losses I'm taking. So as I do it more, I think it'll start to sound more clear and look more clear. But had we showed up to the market today, it would have been a profitable day to end off the week. So we'll see on Monday. Monday, I will be back live trading, and we'll just go from there. See what happens next week.